Steve Dallaire de Boulevard Brutal. Je suis en excellente compagnie ce soir. Je suis à Jonquière avec Lips de Anvil. Lips, welcome to Boulevard Brutal. Welcome to Jonquière.
Thanks, man.
Do you know it's Voivod's hometown?
Yeah, that's funny that you were just talking about it. It's actually Arvida.
Yeah.
We met the guys from Voivod back in 1980 when we played Arvida.
Yeah, you were playing at Le Masque d'Or.
That's right.
And is that true that you guys played like 5 nights in a row, 2 sets a night?
2 sets a night? Try 5 sets a night.
Holy shit.
Oh yeah.
So, and there were people like every night, or?
Yeah, there were people every night. Not, obviously usually on Mondays and Tuesdays. That's when everybody came to see what was playing at the club, and if it was good, then Friday and Saturday and Sunday would be packed. So your Wednesday and your Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday were like.
But those were the golden years, right?
Yeah, when you always look at things in a retrospect and look back, you tend to look at it through rose-colored glasses. But I don't know. It's hard to say that it was better or worse. I mean, is it better to have to play 5 sets a night?
I don't know.
And play every night and play to the 4 walls on some points, or is it better to come in on a Friday or Saturday night and play to a packed house?
Exactly.
We were doing things that in those days we actually motivated a big change in the whole scene. We started bringing a support band with us, which was completely unheard of.
Yeah.
In a club. You're a support band? And we go, yeah, and we play 1 long set, right? And they go, well, you're supposed to play 45 minutes or 40 minutes each set.
Yeah.
And we're going, well, how about we do 1 big long set and the other band does a set? And they're okay, well, as long as there's entertainment enough for the evening, we'll let that go. But we were paying the support band. They were not getting paid by the clubs.
Okay.
We just motivated this change because we wanted to make a concert setting in a club. So we started bringing our friends from the band Kraken, if you remember that.
I do.
Yeah.
So you've always been innovators in a way.
Well, it's not even a matter of. It's not that you're doing it with the intention of innovating. You're doing it to try to make the circumstances better for yourself. So you're not really thinking, oh, I'm going to change the scene. We're going, no, we're going to go in there and we're going to do it our way and we're going to try to get away with it. You weren't thinking that it's going to have an effect for everybody that's going to come after you, but it actually did. And from that, it made the week gigs disappear.
Okay.
You couldn't go play in a club for a week. It didn't work like that anymore.
Okay.
And that's when things really changed. Then it was concerts in a club, but you weren't playing there for a week. You were playing there for 1 night, which makes it tougher because every night you're tearing down and setting up, right?
Exactly. Like last night you were in Montreal.
It makes it a lot more hectic as a band. There's traveling. You got to get up early. It makes everything a lot more busy.
Exactly.
For the bands, yeah.
Like you were in Montreal last night, so I guess you left after the show, or?
No, actually we went to sleep, got up early and started heading up here.
Is it getting tougher on you with all those years? It's been 40 years.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't say that it's. Yeah, I've been doing this for 40 years, but not as consistent as I would have liked to. There are many years through the 90s, I was lucky to go out for 3 to 4 weeks a year and go tour.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's just.
But since the documentary.
Oh, nonstop. The last 10 years have just been, like since the documentary in 2008, it's just, we haven't stopped working, nonstop.
That's pretty good. So you didn't have to go back to your day jobs?
No, it's all finished with.
Enough with delivering food?
Yeah, that's it, all done.
Good for you.
That's what happened in the sequel.
Yeah, and speaking about that sequel, is that going to happen? And
who knows?
what we haven't seen from Anvil yet?
It's really hard to say whether there'll be a sequel. I don't know. You know, and is it necessary? I don't know.
That would be cool.
Well,
I'd love to see
people like to know what happened. I think it's pretty obvious. We've been living the sequel and traveling and touring all over the world, so that's what happened. Non-stop. I mean, we've done probably close to 150 shows just between the release of the last album and now. So we're very, very, very busy. Very busy.
Yeah, it's a lot of shows.
Yeah, it is.
And speaking of the last album, it came out a year ago.
Yeah.
After a year, are you still satisfied with Anvil is Anvil?
Oh yeah, it's not a question of being satisfied or not. It's on to the next. We're already geared up and ready to go and record in August and put out another one.
That quick?
Yeah, oh yeah. That's not that quick. By the time the record comes out, it's going to be 2 years.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah, it takes a while.
Yeah.
So, I want a scoop. What's going to be the title of the new record? Come on, you can't do that for me.
I could, but we haven't decided when we're going to divulge that information.
Okay.
The truth be told, the cover's already being worked on. Everything. I haven't announced it, and I don't know that I want to announce it yet.
Okay. And the cover has been done by Mr. Reiner again?
No.
No?
The cover is being done by the same guy that did the number of records before the last one.
Okay.
We have a German artist who likes to work from real photographs and stuff. He's very good with the computer and Photoshop and stuff like that.
So how many songs do you have written so far?
10.
Wow. So it's all written.
Pretty much. We like to record 13. Lucky 13. Right?
Yeah.
We like to record 13 because first of all, we're going to be doing another pledge campaign. So we have to have an extra track for the pledge campaign.
Okay.
You have to have an extra track for release in Japan.
Yeah.
And you have to have an extra track for the German label who wants to make a special edition. So you have to have 3 extra tracks.
Okay.
So but they're dispersed and on different.
But do you tend to write
versions.
like 20 songs and pick like 13 or?
Well, we have, but not this time. Not this time.
Okay.
You can. I think tends to be. You have too much, it gets harder to decide. And sometimes the decisions that you make, when you listen to it later, you go, you know what? The bonus track was better than the one that was up.
Well, you could do like a B-sides album.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really know what to say about that. I think less is more. To tell you the truth, you go into the studio with too many songs, and you're losing songs that could use more attention. You're spending on others. You don't go in with too much. You got a certain length of time that you have to work on everything. You want it to be everything to have an equal opportunity of greatness. So you can't overdo it.
Yeah. And are you planning to record it in Germany as well?
Absolutely, yeah. Same producer, different studio this time, but same producer.
So you liked it in Germany to record there?
Oh yeah, well I mean, it's not so much where, it's with whom.
Okay.
And Martin Pfeiffer is an extraordinarily great producer. Really believes in the band, and really knows what is best for us, And
Is he
very,
tough
very
in
good.
studio?
He can be, and that's what you need. You need somebody who's gonna say, do it again, and he has a very, very good attitude, so you don't get angry.
Okay.
You know, you don't get frustrated, which is very good. He's very good personality, so that things get done properly. Yeah.
Okay. And it's been 35 years this year for Metal on Metal.
Yeah.
Like, did you think about doing a tour, playing the whole album, or
No.
that would have been cool?
No, it wouldn't.
No.
No, I don't
Why?
think so. I kind of look at it as being, that's too nostalgic. I'm not
Okay.
gonna. It's like, why don't you do an unplugged album? Everybody else is. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna do that either. You know what
No.
I mean? I don't. You know, we thought about the idea of getting all the original members back together and going doing just first 3 album material.
Yeah.
And about 2 weeks ago, Dave Allison came out and played 3 songs with us.
Yeah, I've seen that on YouTube. Yeah.
And to be really honest, no.
Well, your drummer.
That's how I felt about it.
Your drummer
And-
said that
and-
he was not in game shape.
No, and he's not, and I don't really want to spend the time and effort in rebuilding the past when it's never going to be as good as the present. It can't be. And I'm not going to set myself up. I'm not going to set myself up to be in competition. Thanks. To be in competition with myself.
Yeah.
That's the word. That's not a good way to go.
And I don't think
I'm
a reunion would do.
I'm very, very. In fact, I've got more confidence in the way the band is today than I ever have in my entire career. I've got an absolutely phenomenal bass player.
Yeah, he kills it.
Who can sing like a bird. He sings better than Dave Allison ever sang. An equally as good tone that works amazing with me. We are now doing songs like Free as the Wind. We never did that, even in its day, because we didn't have the vocals to do it.
Okay.
You never had it.
Wow.
So I'm just saying that on every level, plus the fact it's a bass player that is a proper 3-piece bass player. And there is a difference. Everyone thought, well, what's the difference between a 3-piece bass player? Well, they're like another guitar. It fills in as much as a guitar, and it's not just sound, it's choice of notes, it's audibility. How well can you hear what that bass player plays? When you play with a 4-piece style bass player, they're inaudible. They're just playing strictly the bottom end because the guitar, it leaves room for the guitars to do what they do. But in a 3-piece band, you need a bass player that's got a lot of attack and energy in his playing, so that when I go to play a solo, you can still hear the rhythm.
That's what you want.
And that's what you want. Chris is an amazing bass player. He has a very unique style in the sense he doesn't use a guitar pick, but he uses his fingers, but he uses his fingernails as well.
Oh.
So when you use your fingernail, you get a very, very top end treble with a very thunderous bottom. That's 3-piece sound. There you go. Now it's going to be audible. I can lean on that bass player. I can completely relax and I can hear exactly where the riffs are underneath me because I can hear it. He's playing in such a way that you can actually hear what the notes are. They're not just bottom end woof. And that's a big difference.
Where did you find this guy?
Well, it's an interesting story. Went through a lot of problems. Of course, after we changed from 4-piece to 3-piece, we kept our original bass player, or the somewhat original bass player. But there was something not 100% there. He's really a 4-piece bass player, and he's trying to acquire that aspect of being a 3-piece, but it never really got there, and you couldn't motivate him to become that because he already thought he was great, and he had an incredible amount of entitlement. I've been with the band. Everybody's got to treat me with the respect and the respect and admiration that Lips and Robbo are getting. Well, that doesn't work. You were 2 years old when I started the band. It just doesn't work like that. You're not an original member. You're never going to be what Rob and I are. We're the original members. We are Anvil. And you're not writing the songs. You're not playing bass solos. You're not standing out.
You're a hired gun.
Well, it wasn't a hired gun. It was our bass player that we treated as though he was a real, authentic member of the band. He got financially compensated in the same way, as if he had been there all along. But the entitlement level was just off the chart. He wants it, but no one, the audience isn't giving it to him. You go out and you play. We go out and play tours with, like we went out with Saxon as an example.
Wow.
And we're watching Nibs, the bass player of Saxon, doing bass solos, and we're going, listen, man, you want to stand out as a bass player, you got to do this. So we have a section in front of this, in the beginning of the song Winged Assassins, where just drums and bass.
Yeah.
I said, there's a place right there that you could really take it to a high level. He goes, I don't want to do that. I go, what do you mean you don't want to do it? And all it is he was playing one note. Why are you doing that? You could play a bass solo in that section. You got the double bass drum beat, fill it in, make something of it, and then go to the single note and we'll start the song. No. And I go, well, why? And he goes,
that doesn't
because
work.
so he goes, everybody should know I'm a great bass player just by what I play.
Okay.
Naturally. And I'm going, no, I don't think so. Rob Reiner didn't get the reputation of being a great drummer by just playing the songs. He went and did a solo and showed people what he's capable of. That's how you get people to believe that you're a good player. Show the world what you've got, what you can do. That's how you do it. You got to stand up and get counted. But on and on this went. No enthusiasm for that. And that's not good.
No.
So, the people you'd go and do a show, and you stand after the show to do autographs, and people hand their camera to the bass player, and they go take a picture of me with them. And he's losing his mind. No one wants my autograph. No one cares that I'm here.
No wonder.
So I'm going, dude, you haven't done anything to bring it. And then there's the physicality, the physical aspect of what you look like and act like on stage. What is your persona? What are you presenting to an audience? Are you attracting people, or are you repelling them? Now, if you stand on stage and you've got two guys looking like they're having the time of their lives, and one guy standing there with a grimace,
And stand there like a sticks?
and stand there like a stiff, it's not bringing an attractiveness to that person. And these were the reasons that it's not going where he wanted it to go. That's really the reasons. In eventuality, it just got to the point that we couldn't get along with the guy. He's making us feel bad. Particularly during the release of the movie, Rob and I are traveling, and like we're doing all these gigs, but not only are we doing gigs, we're doing promotional stuff. So Rob and I are getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning, going to radio stations, and the guy's going, "Why aren't you taking me with?" Well, you don't really want to get up at 6 in the morning, do
Exactly.
you? Why are you asking for something you don't even want to do? So a few times we take him with, and of course the interviewer is interviewing and they don't ask him any questions. So he leaves the interview and he starts freaking out. I'm never doing this anymore. No one wants to talk to me. Well, the Mad Dog, the guy who was drinking beer through his nose in the movie, gets more attention than the bass player because of the personality and what he's brought to the movie.
Yeah.
And these are the things that this bass player couldn't deal with. that, Mad Dog is more famous than me, and I'm in the movie, and I'm in the band. And it was too much for him to take in his head. So he quit. So, moving on from that, we were left in an emergency situation.
Yeah.
We had gigs 2 weeks away, and this guy walked out of the band. So we made some calls, and I had a friend down in
Sal?
New York, Sal, and he said, listen, I can fill in, I can do whatever you like till you find a guy up in Canada. Sure, okay. So which is what very, very nice of Sal. We tried it, we thought maybe it could work. We ended up doing the record with him, but even during the record, we could tell this was not going to work. We're writing all the songs, and there's no bass player here in Canada to play with. So one thing led to another. A friend that I've known for many years was coming down just to fill in for bass, but he at that particular time, his schedule fit in so that he could come to rehearsal.
Yeah.
But then his schedule got changed because he was working for the city and being a painter for the schools and the community centers. So his hours changed and he couldn't come in at that time. So he goes, the guy who's been teaching me how to play is available.
Oh.
So we go, who's that? I go, this guy Chris. And the first thing I go, is he fat? And he goes, no. So I said, okay, have him come down. Because it's just not right having a big fat 300-pound guy in the Anvil. It's just,
Well, it doesn't look too good on stage.
no, it's like I want is bring the guy down. It brings the guy down, and because of course this was the guy's teacher, he knew all the songs.
Nice.
So it's like there's no warm-up for this. It's already happening. You start playing and it's like, wow, okay, there's no.
This is the guy.
It's like instantly you know that this is great. So we continued writing and doing whatever we do, and we had both bass players. One guy was playing live, one guy was playing in the studio. So it got to the point we had to go do a U.S. tour, and I said to Chris, I go, look it, man, we're gonna take off. We're going down there for 5-6 weeks. I feel horrible leaving you here. I don't want to leave you here. I feel like I'm here with you every day, and it feels like, why am I leaving my bass player behind? And then I'm gonna have this almost like a stranger coming on stage with me. It's like this really sucks. I don't like it, but I gotta live through it. I don't really want to fire the guy. He did the album, and now we're gonna go out and tour it, right? So let at least the guy that played on the album do some touring. So here we were on the first leg of the American run for the release of the record with this bass player that played on the album, but I brought Chris as the roadie.
Oh.
So Chris, watching us playing every night, he's learning not only the order of the songs, but where he needs to be on stage before he even have to do it. So
That was a great idea.
it was actually a really good idea, and it actually quickened the pace, because what actually happened was Chris went up and did a couple sound checks, and poor Sal just sat there going,
Okay.
just completely like, oh, this guy's like, wow. He's using Sal's bass, but it doesn't sound like Sal. You know what I mean? It's like we do a sound check doing This Is 13, and it's like the difference is like night and day, because it's just, wow, it's just incredible. So that was the first leg of the American tour, so we had to go to Germany to do a show, and I call Sal and I go, okay, I'm going to buy a ticket to go to Germany. We have a festival to play. And he goes, no, you go ahead and you take Chris. Give Chris a chance, and you won't need me anymore.
Wow.
I said, okay, that's fine. So
Very honest from him, though.
very, 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 very cool. So Chris came with to Germany, and of course he was like, "Oh my God!" And what a way you're throwing him right into the tank, because it's like when you're playing in Germany, these are the most critical people you're going to ever play in front of. Honest to
what
God.
I've heard.
Oh, they'll tell you how many minutes with how many seconds you played, and whether they like the little differences in the solo that you did, or every little detail is completely curtailed. It's just exactly what, and he went over great. And we went to do the intro for Winged Assassins, and I said, take it away, bring me something. And he just starts in, and I'm standing there, wow, that's what I wanted to hear. That's what I wanted to hear. My God, listen to that. And the people in the audience, they're going, whoa.
Well, that's almost like a new start for Anvil.
Yeah, so then adding to that, his persona, what he puts out, how he looks, how he makes you feel when you watch him, you feel the same as watching me. It's completely matched. I've got, just like Johnny Carson had Ed McMahon,
yeah.
Lips has got Christ. That's what I got, It works really like it's the right guy. And that's why I say, where I am today, I have never felt something more confident ever in my entire career.
And he seems to get along with Rob as well.
That's right.
And
that's
it's important between the bassman and the drummer.
The bass player and the drummer have to be like that.
Exactly.
And there is a tension, and there always is a tension between a bass player and drums. I mean, the Cream. I mean, go back and you can talk about Ginger Baker and Jack Bruce. That's why the Cream didn't last. The bass player and the drummer want to kill each other.
Well, hopefully he's going to get better for you.
Yeah. But actually, because Rob had so much difficulty with the original, with Glenn and with Sal, had a lot of difficulty. Didn't really get along with either of them. And it made my life very, very stressful.
Yeah,
very
especially
stressful.
when you're just a three-piece. I mean,
but the type of person that Christ is, he's a very, very soft-spoken, quiet guy. Much more like Ian Dixon. He reads books endlessly, just quiet, laid back, no arguing, no whatever Rob says, he goes, yeah, cool.
One last question. Last week, I think, someone stole your dildo.
Oh yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, and there was actually, it got filmed.
yes.
It got filmed, and so
That was a girl, right?
it was a girl, and what it ended up, the girl was trying to play a joke on the promoter.
Okay.
She took the vibrator from off the top of my amplifier and put it in his truck. And stuck it in the seat. In the driver's seat, sticking up. Okay? In the process, the batteries got lost and the cap. So they retrieved the major part of it before we left the club, but it was still missing the cap and the batteries. But I mean, the batteries are replaceable. But so what eventually happened, they located the cap and sent it to me by mail.
Okay.
So I got it all back.
So you didn't have to purchase a new one?
I did. I purchased two.
Okay.
I purchased two new ones, and it's pretty funny because the first one that I purchased looks like it's brown, okay, but it's got it sort of looks like it's alligator, like an alligator style design on it. But when you look at it from a distance, it looks like I'm holding up a piece of shit. So it's like, okay, that doesn't work. So then that didn't work. So I went and bought another one in a mall down in the States, and it looked like it's all striped.
Okay.
Has stripes on it.
So it's better?
It was better, but the problem with that one is when you put it close to your pickup, it had the wrong kind of winds on the motor. So what would happen is it would cancel. You go, wah, and there'd be no sound coming out of the pickup. It's like, I didn't know that it could do that. You're going, wah, like, why is it doing that? Meanwhile, things going, rrr, but when you put it by the pickup, it would cancel. So that was no good.
So next time you go to a sex shop, you're going to have to bring your own guitar.
You have to bring the guitar to test it. But then I finally got all the parts back, and everything is all good, and everything is perfect again.
That's awesome. Well, thanks, Lips. Much appreciated.
No
Thanks for
problem.
your time. Kick ass tonight.
We will. You can count on
And
it.
I want to see you again in 20 years from now. Is that possible?
Well, we'll only be 81.
That's young.
It's hard to believe that.
81.
Wow, 81. Think about that.
81
That's
is the
just
new
around
61.
the corner when you, like 20 years ago, I was, 40. And between 40 and 60, it's gone like that.
Absolutely.
But like basically when my son was born to now, it seems like a blink. And my son is, the little kid that you saw in the movie is a 20-year-old, right? And it's
He's on the road with you, right?
oh no, that's Tyler, that's Rob's son.
Okay.
Rob's son's 10 years older than my son.
Okay.
So yeah.
Well, good
Hey,
luck for
we're
tonight.
we're older guys.
You're not planning on retiring anyways.
No, I'm gonna go till they carry me away in a box. That's what you do. I'm already retired. I retired from being a delivery man for a fucking catering company, right?
Yeah.
That's what happened, and this is what I do now. I'm retired from doing the hard labor. This is easy. If the hardest thing to do is staying awake or the traveling, that's not so bad.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good life.
It's a good life. It's a good life, and I'm a happy guy.
Thanks, man.
Okay, thank you.